ClarkWoods.com. This is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 238. I'm Chris.
I'm Steve.
We have our mics back.
Yes, and so we'll probably sound much better than we did last week.
Yeah. Well,
although
it didn't sound terrible.
That's good.
Yeah.
Did you listen to it in its entirety?
I believe I did. Or if I didn't listen to it in its entirety, I listened to quite a bit of it because I was trying to find titles and trying to make sure that it sounded okay throughout the entire 60 or so minutes.
And remember, things are going to be okay.
That was a very pronounced number of pauses, was it not?
What?
No, not my pauses. I was saying you had good cause to josh me.
I wasn't joshing you. I was speaking like the man on the OK Soda hotline. Just call 1-800-I-FEEL-OK.
Did you like OK Soda? Oh, okay.
I don't even remember what it tastes like, but yeah, I did. I mean, I had over 100 cans in my room at one point. I have 3 now.
Yeah,
I think I could actually fetch some money on the eBays for them, maybe
just for the empty cans.
Yeah,
yeah.
At this point, like it's been over. I think it was 1993.
Yeah,
so
that sounds about right.
It's been like 25 years or so.
Yeah, so any OK Soda out there is probably pretty flat by now.
Well, I don't think it gets flat when it's in a pressurized can.
Oh, okay. All
But
right,
I don't imagine it keeps well though. Like it keeps for a certain amount of time, but like even after all that time, like I think it just isn't good.
Yeah, nothing lasts forever.
Except for cold November rain.
Axl Rose ain't gonna last forever. I'm just gonna say,
When we were going yesterday, we did a couple of things. We went to her parents' house. They were doing a yard sale.
Yes,
and because doing massive cleanup. This right here, minus the Verizon router and cable box, are things that are on the chopping block for our eventual yard sale.
Oh, now when you think yard sale, are you thinking clearinghouse for junk, or are you thinking what's your stance on yard sales? Because I have a sort of stance. I think, especially with my own family.
Are they yard sailors? Are like going to yard sales?
Well, my kids seem enamored of the idea of going to yard sales, and we'll pass them by, and I will veto that shit as fast as fuck because we have too much shit in the
I don't
house.
know if you need to use that kind of language around your children.
I don't know. This is all happen up in the noggin. But
you're like,
we're not going to any yard sales. These kids can't.
Kaylee and Melody are just like, can we go to that yard sale, Dad? And you're like, I'm vetoing that as quick as fuck.
Yeah, no, I might just go. I might just go as far as to say fuck no.
You'd be fuck no, children.
Yeah. Gotta be careful where you put the comma in that, right? Fuck, no children. That's sad, right? That's somebody who perhaps wanted children and didn't get to have them. Fuck, no children.
Or maybe they're like a creepy dude and he went to like a place and he's like, fuck, no children.
Oh, that's me pulling at my collar. Yeah, no. So I don't.
The English language. So many different ways to say a thing.
Yeah, well, we all know the importance of the Oxford comma, right? For the English language because of things like we met the strippers.
When did you do that?
No.
Or when did we do that?
This is the.
You weren't at the bachelor party.
No. This is the Oxford comma that's the funny. We met the strippers, Kennedy and Khrushchev, right? If you forget the final comma, the final serial comma, the Oxford comma, it implies that Kennedy and Khrushchev were the strippers, right? We met the strippers, comma, Kennedy and Khrushchev. Instead of we met the strippers, comma, Kennedy, comma, and Khrushchev.
Oh. I just find it weird putting a comma in front of an and.
Do you?
Yes.
That's it's weird that you find that weird. I mean, it's the right thing to do.
All right. Well, I don't know. I feel weird about it. Like when I'm listing stuff.
Yeah. I mean, but sometimes you know when you're learning to be a better person, it feels weird, and so you push through and you become the better person.
Okay.
right?
That's fine.
You know, we grew up in homophobic, racist, sort of society, and we had to push through the pressures that were put upon us, and it felt uncomfortable at times, maybe.
So what if I
became better people?
What if I was like listing like I had a ball and a truck? I'm like, these are the worst examples ever. Well, I had a ball, comma, a truck, comma, a pair of scissors, comma, and a penis pump.
And a penis pump. You want to keep the items in the list the same. That would be correct.
So yeah, I would use the comma before the and.
Yes.
But if I didn't, would everybody assume all of those things were the same thing?
No. So I gotta think back. I can't go back and listen to, what was your list again?
A bunch of items.
Okay. Well, what would be implied is that the third to last item, the last one with a comma after it, right, would include the penultimate and ultimate items, right? So if the penis pump and the scissors are the last two items, then whatever was the third to last item, or second to last, well, I can't do that shit. Whatever was the one right before the last comma, there would be the possibility of some confusion that those.
I don't think anybody would be confused that a pair of scissors and a penis pump would be the same thing.
Well,
or in the same category of thing.
I bought my wife several presents, comma, scissors and a penis pump. Right? I don't know. Let's stop talking about the good old Oxford comma.
All right.
We're not going to come to any accord here.
I'm gonna continue not using it, and people are gonna continue to understand what I'm saying.
They're not. No, there are lots of there's lots of room for miscommunication when you don't use the Oxford comma, and you are a bad person if you don't.
All right, I'm gonna continue.
Just like you're a bad person if you put two spaces after a period in a sentence.
I do that.
That's you don't need to. That's a typewriter habit.
Yeah, I fucking developed it in typing class in fucking 1996.
Okay, but you don't need to do it anymore.
Oh, well, I still do.
Well, you don't need to, and it messes up documents.
Yeah, sure does.
It creates more space. It doesn't need to be there. Butterick's Practical Typography.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the
typography.com. That's
where
y'all should go.
All the bits that are taken up by those two extra spaces on your email. I mean,
it's what's causing climate change.
Yes.
And
no.
No. So I don't take my kids to yard sales. They have too much junk in their room. My wife spent all day yesterday trying to clean their room while I got to sit in the mall waiting for my 13-year-old to be done hanging out with her friends, which we can talk about. That was a weird experience. But Stephanie
they're already mall rats. Jeez.
Well,
I don't think we were mall rats until one of us got a car.
Well, but these are these kids today, and it was one of her friends' birthday parties. So
at the mall.
The kids had gone. The rest of them had gone to mini golf, and so the mall was the second part of it. But Kaylee could not go to mini golf because she has swim lessons. So
at Freeman Lake,
not at Freeman Lake. She goes to a place in the town of Westford.
A pool or a pond.
I'm not going to go any further than that. I don't want people stalking my children.
Yeah, I mean, like that guy. Fuck.
Like that guy.
No children.
Fuck no children, that guy. But they can't keep their room clean, so they do not need more junk. They also will sometimes think about doing a yard sale in order to make money, right? That's another common theme. And the problem is that anything they would want to get rid of is junk, and nobody's going to want to pay for it. So I also veto that a lot.
Does it cost money to have a yard sale?
I don't know. I don't know if Chelmsford is that much of a stickler for that kind of shit, whether you need to get some fucking permit or...
Yeah, I don't think they do. So it could only benefit you. You could remember how you always want a little time to yourself?
Yeah.
You'd be like, all right, you want to have this yard sale? I am not involved.
Okay.
I am sitting and reading or doing something or writing or whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
In quiet while you guys have the yard sale.
Okay, but I don't think that would. I think basically within like 15 or 20 minutes, if Stephanie were the supervising parent, she would tag out and I would be out there.
No, I mean, this is.
Oh, the kids just have to do it by themselves.
No. You know, if Stephanie isn't on board with the yard sale idea either.
Okay, I don't know.
She's got to be on board if they're going to have it, because if you don't want it,
yeah. Okay, all right.
Then she's got to be the one that holds the reins of the kids.
Yeah, but then I think there'd be some marital resentment going on that I was trying to bow out of this unpleasant task of holding a yard sale.
You don't want to have the yard sale in the first place, so you say, I don't want this.
Right.
But if you do so much that you will veto my opinion,
right,
then I do not want to be even remotely involved.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, but yes. Okay. Got it.
It's some negotiating, Chris.
All right. I just don't think we have anything in the house that anybody would want.
I mean, you should have saw some of the crap that they were buying at Becky's mom's house yesterday.
Really?
Someone bought 2 VCRs.
Okay, here's the other part of it that you just reminded me of. The other part of it that I have become
$3 a piece for 2 VCRs, $6 and then they bought some VHS.
Here's what I've become. I have spent a lot of the last week and a half blowing up
yourself.
In a sense, I've been blowing up my website. I've been blowing up the way that I do things, and really sort of stripping back to basics and thinking about what matters to me. And what the other thing that bothers me about yard sales is that by having a yard sale, I am perpetuating a behavior that I don't want in others, that I don't want to perpetuate in the world.
What, collecting crap?
Yeah. So you know what? I don't want to foist my crap off on somebody else, who then in a couple of years is going to have to foist that crap off on somebody else. And it's just, you know what? Buy less crap, and donate the crap that you don't need.
Sometimes, like, you
let
can
somebody else deal with it.
You can, like, you know, like with the stuff that at least I have up on the chopping block for yard
this
sale.
is what I wanted to get to, is what do you have up on the
like I mean, it's just basically some old games and stuff, like, you know, and if I can get more than Bull Moose or Newbury Comics or whatever, or GameStop will give me for them, then I've just won. Exactly.
So you've got things of value.
I mean, they're not extremely valuable, but if I can get more than like the couple of dollars that they might, like if I can get $5 instead of like 3 or 2 or nothing, or next to nothing, or like 50 cents, then I'm up a lot.
Right.
Well, not a lot, because I spent a decent amount for the game in the first place, but
you got some enjoyment out of it, right? And now it's just about getting it out of your life and maybe making a couple of bucks.
And the only reason these particular games are on the chopping block is because they were Wii U games that I bought again for the Switch.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't actually buy, because when I worked for my former company, we had like this different thing that I have now, but like this like rewards program for if you do good things. You know, a coworker or your boss or whatever can just like say, give Steve X amount of points, and like luckily that's one of the few things that were better at my old job was the points thing, which is basically, I'm like, all right, Amazon gift cards, baby. And I was just and so over the course of my entire time there, I did not pay $1 for any video games.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And I've gotten a decent amount since.
Yeah.
I think the only thing, like, I think it was actually funny, because like when I started, that's when the Switch came out, and it was funny. I got the offer call while I was setting up the Switch.
Oh yeah.
Like I had just gotten it in the mail and I was all fucking excited about it. And then I got the fucking call while like it was like my phone was on the table, and of course I didn't have it on ring, because who would do that?
No.
And then so I missed the call completely, and I had to wait because it was like on the end of the day of a Friday or something like that.
Ah, shit.
And I couldn't call them back until like Monday.
Right.
And then there was a little bit of negotiation back and forth, and so I didn't actually get like the offer until like a week or two later, or like get it etched in stone until a week or two later.
Yeah. That's
so listen up, kids. If you are job searching at the same time as a major video game system comes out, make sure you put your phone on ring during this period, just so you don't miss the call for a job offer.
Oh gosh. You know, during a rough period at work within the last couple of weeks, I remember I did just vaguely like go on like not. I don't even know if I actually got so far as to look for something. I was just like, all right, what am I going to look for? And I was instantly like, I'm not qualified for anything. And I stopped. So I was like, I should just be happy that I have a job.
Chris.
And,
But
I don't want to
do your resume. What does your resume look like?
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've looked at it.
Don't even look at jobs yet until you have a resume in order.
Yeah. Well, and I should say I'm things are better at work, and that was a momentary lapse, but it does occur to me that like I don't know where I would even begin if I were looking. And so I just all the sympathy and whatever to people who are looking, because I can't even imagine how hard that is.
Well, right now it's probably the easiest time it has been in our lifetime.
Really?
Yeah. So if you're gonna look, I'd say look right now.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Because I mean, as much as Donnie is trying to fuck things up,
right?
The economy is still relatively strong. So there are still really good jobs that are going unfilled because qualified candidates, which might be you, Chris, aren't applying.
Right. Well, I mean, probably shouldn't keep talking about it on a public forum.
All right.
Yeah, it's.
I was trying to keep things vague.
Oh, it's vague. Every once in a while. Everyone knows, or how vague can we keep it? Everyone knows that education does not pay a lot. Is that
we
fair
pay
to say?
a lot? Oh wait, no, that's that. What is things that academia doesn't say?
We pay a lot. What we pay a lot? Oh yeah, no, you did the. Okay, got it.
I was doing Kreskin there.
Yeah, no, the academia doesn't pay a lot, and you end up taking on all sorts. If you're me, you end up taking on all sorts of extra work just to get to a
yard sale that you don't want to have.
No, just to get to a sort of livable salary for a town that's not too far away from where you are. And your kids still complain about not having their own rooms, and you live upstairs from your parents.
You should talk to your brother and be like, "Are you willing to give up your room?" and then have one of the kids live in your brother's room.
No, because I imagine he does not want to live at home.
But, so I think he'd be okay with it.
But I think that it would be nice that I don't think my mom will anytime soon be ready to give up the notion that there's always a room for John when he's home.
Yeah, but even with that option at his disposal, I don't think he would take it.
Well, but when he comes home for the holidays and things like that.
Yeah, but
he needs a room.
He could come over here and stay here.
Okay. Well, how would he fight with my dad 24 hours a day?
He wouldn't. He can do yard work in my yard.
Yeah. So academia doesn't pay a lot. So every once in a while I think about, how could I make more moolah? But I have a very flexible schedule, and I have a lot of benefits that come from being in academia. So it's 6 of one and half dozen of the other, I believe, is the expression.
That's what the kids are saying nowadays.
Is that what they're saying? If I said that expression to my kids, I wonder if they would have any idea what the fuck I was talking about.
Well, do they know numbers?
They do. Oh my gosh, I had a story for you.
Okay.
It's not that interesting, but it is a story, and it ties. Oh. Fuck yes. Okay, it ties into the other thing that I was going.
How long did it take us to jog your memory?
20 minutes. 19 minutes.
Okay.
19 minutes. All right, so numbers. Yesterday, I get up and work writing-wise or art-wise or whatever in the mornings and Saturdays and Sundays. So yesterday morning, I'm up. I'm working on the revision of my next book. And it's a lot of reordering the chapters and figuring out where I need new material and things like that based on where I'm taking it going forward. And I've got, for reasons I'll get into, I have 4 point of view characters, which I think is fewer than George R.R. Martin. I think he has quite a few, and Game of Thrones is doing just fine. Or was.
I mean, up until the point where he stopped writing, I suppose. Okay. Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry, but that was poorly phrased. It did fine when it was doing anything at all. Right? People like the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got 4 point of view characters, and I was looking at ordering, and in my mind I was like, well, what if in each of these sections of the book, and there are 4, I had a different order. And I'm like, that's got to be possible, but how can I have a different order every single time? And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I Googled it, right?
You math problemed?
I Googled the math problem, and it was the Klein something or other that I came up with. And with a little bit of variation from the Wikipedia page, I was able to get exactly what I wanted. Now, I was so excited about this and sort of just manic and hyper, and in need of some more coffee, I think, or not.
No. When you're manic, you don't want more coffee, Chris.
Okay. That maybe was the mistake.
Just saying.
That was a mistake. Okay. Yeah. So I get up and I'm explaining it to Stephanie and Melody, who are in one room.
I think you just need a little bit of bump of heroin if you're like manic.
No.
Oh wait. I don't encourage people to do drugs. Sorry.
Chris
is not somebody that does heroin. I'm just joking. Jesus Christ.
I don't do any horse. No.
Is that what the kids are calling it?
No, I don't.
6 to 1 horse, half dozen the other.
No, so I'm explaining what I was trying to do to Melody and Stephanie. In the other room, Kaylee, still half asleep, hears what I'm talking about and starts figuring it out, and is done figuring it out before I've even fully explained and badly explained the concept to my wife and my younger daughter. So I should have just woken up my 13-year-old.
Is she like a math whiz? Is that?
Well, she's in the at the beginning of the year, they placed her. I don't know if it was in advanced math or like one of the top. I don't know if it's the top math. You know,
was she in 8th grade?
She's in 7th.
Oh, okay.
So there's no AP, but like she's at. And it was really hard for her at the beginning, but now she's really doing very well.
So she just got over the hump of like the difficulty curve.
Yeah, of it just getting like so much more intense. And
so it's like it's like doing problems while camping.
Yes, and
I'll just let maybe the people that are listening got it.
Okay, all right. Are you upset with me that I didn't get it?
No, but
okay.
I mean, it was just a sort of wordplay humor kind of joke. It wasn't something.
I'm dumb.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So she figured it out, and that was fine. And then I tried to show Melody. I asked her to figure it out, and she didn't quite get what I was. But she's 8. Oh, no, she's 9. And she actually went above and beyond what she needed to do. And I was trying to explain that to her, but she was in a bad mood. And so it didn't go so well. But at any rate, the other novel-related thing that I discovered yesterday was the thing that it took us 20 minutes to jog my memory. And I've talked too long, so now I want to... should we save it, or do you want...
No, keep going. I'm super interested.
I feel like that's a bit now. Keep going. I'm super interested. We're getting horribly off topic. Keep going. I'm super interested. I lost track of all our 238 episodes.
We have plenty. We have plenty of catchphrases.
We have some catchphrases. So I think I've said on the show that my next book was
your next 6 novels will
No, just the next one. The next one was going to be called Exquisite Corpse. And I probably explained that at some point.
What's a fun trivia fact? If Dan and I had gone along and done like the 4th New Sweethearts album as we were intending, it would have been called Nauseating Picnic Lunch.
That is an interesting fact.
Yeah.
Now, where did that come from?
I don't know. I think it might have just been us like half drunk, spitballing shit back and forth.
That's the way that it comes, right? That's pretty good. When there's spitballing, with my kids, they'll sometimes say something incredibly funny, and I'll say that should be your band name. Melody had one the other day, and I don't remember what it was. But yeah, that's what I should do to solve the problem I'm about to explain. So yesterday I'm doing the writing, and I'm trying to write a new opening chapter. And so I'm doing some additional research on the phrase exquisite corpse, which I know what it is. It's a game the Surrealists played, but I'm just trying to, dig up some more stuff. And in the process of Googling it, I realize that there is already somebody who has published a book called Exquisite Corpse.
Oh, beans!
And not just anybody, but it is the science fiction horror writer Poppy Z. Bright, who is much beloved in her particular community.
Oh.
And that she called it Exquisite Corpse. Yes, because there are corpses and maybe some necrophilia. I didn't go too far down the rabbit hole. But also because she's doing the same structure that I was doing, where she has four narrators alternating and picking up each other's stories.
Oh,
which
shit,
is what
dude.
an Exquisite Corpse is. So I will not be calling my novel Exquisite Corpse, but now I don't know what the fuck I'm going to call it.
You cannot call it Nauseating Picnic Lunch.
I am not going. That would have nothing to do with the book. And it's a real quagmire. This problem.
Just call them stack some Family Guy character names on top of each other and see what happens.
I don't watch the Family Guy, so what are some?
Well, Quagmire's one of them.
Quagmire is one of them. Is there a Stan? There's a Stan, isn't there? No,
that's from the South other Park. One. No, there's Stan in South Park and in that fucking American Guy.
Oh, one. American Dad. Right?
American Guy.
American Guy. So there's a baby in the Family Guy. Stewie. Stan, Stewie. Same difference.
Just maybe it could be something about Stew.
I don't like stew that much. My dad loves stew. I was gonna say my dad loves my mom's stew. He doesn't say this, as much anymore. But when we first,
I don't think he expresses joy anymore.
He sometimes does,
Is that something that just happens when you get older? Like for a normal older person? Like for me, it's gone the opposite way. You've come into
a lot of things as you've gotten.
Don't be gross.
Okay, sorry.
I've come into my own as far as expressing joy more than I used to, because I was more of an angsty pants.
You were a curmudgeon.
Yeah. Before. I mean, I'm still a curmudgeon.
Okay, so curmudgeon's the wrong word.
Different.
You're a happy curmudgeon now.
Yeah, I'm happier than... Well, maybe it's just having, a good person in your life that makes you...
That probably helps.
Yeah. If you...
But my dad has my mom in his life, and she's pretty awesome, so...
Yeah, maybe after a certain amount of time, that wore off for your dad.
That is true.
And,
it's possible.
Driving the school bus probably doesn't help.
I get the impression that he likes the school bus.
Really?
The school bus, I think, he doesn't like dealing with the infrastructure around it, but he loves dealing with the kids. The kids, he has anecdotes about the kids. He remembers them when high school graduation comes around. He's watching to see, which kids he used to drive on the bus. He's always trying to get us interested, because he's very interested. And I imagine we will be as our own kids get to high school. But right now, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not interested in your own kids graduating, I think that's going to be a fucking problem.
Yeah, I think it could be. Yeah. I mean, I'm very interested in their progress, which is why I think Monday.
Do you think
Monday? Tuesday?
Do you think Kaylee would be interested in a STEM program or something?
She could be. She seems more interested in artsy type things at the moment. One of the things that we have batted around, because she's 13, it's still 5 years away, but is without getting one of my benefits for working where I work is that my children can get tuition remission. And I won't say how much, but they will save a great deal.
I'm sorry. I have some good news, though. Your tuition is in remission.
They will get a great break in life if I continue to work where I work and they decide to go there. But what has
if
come up?
one of those things changes, if they're like, I don't want to go to school there,
Right.
then that goes out the fucking window.
Right. But we have made the case to them that in a lot of ways, if you were for some of the things that they are interested in, they're going to need a master's degree. And so we have said you can get a bachelor's degree anywhere. And if you want to get a bachelor's degree and not have that student loan debt and then be free to go get your master's anywhere you want because you're not,
I mean, also, there's you could get like a scholarship someplace.
Right.
Which would be ideal.
Yeah.
Right. Just be like Yucko and swim.
Yeah. They're both taking swim lessons now. I don't think either of them likes it enough to. I think they're done with swim after this month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, not going to be like Yucko.
Right,
Everybody should be like Yucko.
Yeah, I mean he's a beefcake.
He is a rather handsome looking young man. Yeah. I mean old man.
Well,
young man. I don't
he's
know.
Younger than you.
He's younger than me, so I can say young man.
Yeah. Right. There's no need to feel down.
Say Yucko. Take your head off your no.
Take your head off your crown?
Take your head off your crown. I don't know how that. Well, would that be decapitation? Would that be like a guillotine situation?
Yeah, he ate too much cake, or
yeah, exactly. Yes, ate too much cake and couldn't eat it to have it. I can't call it exquisite corpse. That was what we were waiting.
Do you have a backup? Like,
I don't.
Nothing even remotely.
I'm still reeling from the realization. I did have other titles for it earlier in its development, but it was going to be called The Black Sheep at some point, and that doesn't work.
Yeah, because then people would think, is this that movie with David Spade and Chris Farley?
Well, but see, I have. My third book of short stories is called Out of the Woods.
Oh,
there are
I know,
about
like
a million books called Out of the Woods. So it's not that I'm afraid of calling it something that's already been used. It's that I don't want to call it Exquisite Corpse when, even though our content isn't the same, she called it Exquisite Corpse and did the same fucking structure. Like, that's a little bit too...
You should call it Kill Whitey in reference to that Black Sheep movie.
Oh, so
which
it's
is
really
what Chris Farley says at like the MTV whatever when we smoke too much pot and
see, that would be in keeping with Missing Mr. Wingfield, which is a reference to a play that maybe people haven't read, and so people don't know that reference, so they are like, oh, is it a mystery? I remember I had that question asked because it had the word missing in the title.
No, you're just because you're missing him.
You are missing Mr. Wingfield. And I've thought about that. I've thought, oh, well, I could use the word missing. I'm not going to use Mr. Wingfield because this book has nothing to do with that play that it was referencing. But I didn't use the word missing in The Seven Wives of Silver, which is kind of the quasi in-between sequel-y thing between book one and book two.
How about near miss?
Near miss. That's a near miss.
A near miss, and this is what always bothers me at work. Like, like the safety department has a thing. You report a near miss.
Okay.
But in my mind, if you nearly miss something,
you missed it.
You've hit it. But just barely.
But just. I see. We disagree on the Oxford comma, but I think I might be coming around to your way of thinking on this.
All right, good.
So you nearly miss it, which means you hit it.
Yeah.
If you nearly hit it, that means you missed it.
Right.
Okay. All right. I was wondering if it was one of those situations where you're going to say no. If you nearly hit it, you also missed it.
No, if you nearly hit it, you miss it. If you
you also hit it. You nearly. Yeah. No. You are right.
A near miss is a hit. So. Like the process for reporting a near miss is like you almost got in an accident. You almost slipped on some water on the floor. Right. You almost did some fucking thing.
Yeah.
But
you didn't.
You didn't.
Yeah. So when should we write to Major League Baseball and say that we need to change the nomenclature?
Did they use the term near miss in baseball?
No, they use the term hit. We should say so and so had 4 near misses in today's game.
No, they don't need to do that. They can still call them the thing that is not the opposite of the thing.
Can you imagine if George Carlin were alive? I mean, there's all sorts of things.
And he was listening to this. He's like, "Wow, this is what comedy's become."
Now, well, there's that. There'd be all sorts of things that George Carlin will be pissed off about. But if Major League Baseball or something did something like that, where they took the word hit and made it near miss, he would. I would love to see that special. I would love to see George Carlin come back from the dead. And
well, what would he be, like 90 something at this point?
That's a good question, Steve. I think I'm going to look that up.
Oh, good.
Just because everybody has been missing the sound of me
aggressively typing while you search for how old George Carlin would have been.
George Carlin. Okay. The official home of George Carlin. Does he need an official home?
Go to his wiki.
Okay, so it's he's born in 1937.
So that would be...
just would have had a birthday. He would have had his 82nd birthday last month.
Yeah, so he would have been in his 80s, yeah. Not quite 90. Not even close, actually.
Yeah. The official home of George Carlin.
Let's not go to the official home of George Carlin while we're doing the show.
Why is it like this? Why isn't everything different? He's a social feed? He's dead.
It's probably Kelly that took over his posting after he died.
A Carlin home companion growing up with George. All right, you are well. I don't.
Is that from the Tales of Lake Wobegon?
Yes.
Garrison Keillor, before he got accused of touching people or whatever.
Gosh, everybody's keep their fingers to themselves, their hands. And
I don't know. Like, what was it? What was that fucking song? Don't give me no lines and keep your hands to yourselves.
Yeah, that's the Thorogood, right?
Yeah, George Thorogood. Why can't people have listened to that song that George Thorogood created back in the 70s or 80s? I don't even know. So yeah, we went to the yard sale.
Yeah. And you sold some stuff. No, you bought some stuff.
No, we didn't. No, why would we buy things from Becky's mom at the yard
to support Becky's mom?
Well, I don't want to move the junk that she has, because she would have just given it to us if we had wanted it. In fact, that's what happened. There was some things that the wedding centerpieces and whatnot. That was part of the yard sale. If people wanted to use the I remember we had the birch things holding candles and whatnot, and some antler candelabras. Around with other candles on it, and a little treasure chest with the pirate thing, which we snagged 2 of those. We snagged ours, and I snagged the Foxy Pirates because
if they're the Foxy Pirates, you got to have the Foxy ones.
Well, it's like Foxy and his crew. I've always got a fondness for both the characters of Foxy and Buggy, because they're just kind of bad. But
is it they're inept, or bad as in they're evil?
They're bad as in inept, and they Buggy more so
Foxy Pirates. Okay.
Buggy more so. He's the character in the series that is continuously failing upward.
Oh, okay. We like it when people do that, right? Portia is that a character?
Yes.
Okay.
She's part of the Foxy Pirates.
Foxy Pirates. Okay.
And Hamburg.
I bet. And Foxy Pirates
pickles
stickers.
and yeah. So I think I made it a special point to not put John, not your brother John, but the other John that was part of the wedding party. I made a special point to not put him on the Foxy table because he hates Foxy.
Oh, because they're inept. He does not like inept people.
But I think I put my newish pinball friends and some other folks on. I think Mike was on there too.
Now the character of Nami is one that I always remember. I don't know.
Do you mean the National Association for Mental Illness?
Yes. But where does Nami figure into the lore? Is she a pirate?
She is part of the Straw Hat crew.
Oh, okay. So she's like
She was the third person on the crew.
Why is she always wearing things that seem to not like? There's this.
It's because it's a comic for boys, and boys love boobies, right?
Right, but like boys like boobies that are not falling out of their bikini, right?
I don't understand why he draws her like that. Like it's just he
well,
like,
in this case, it's
before the time skip, she didn't usually dress like this.
Okay. In this case, it's it's a statue. It's a Ban Presto One Piece.
Oh
flag.
God! Don't even look at those.
Well, I just searched Google.
Don't look at don't look for the BB ones.
Okay, I just did a Google search for Nami because
BB. Just in case you're wondering, stands for big boobs.
Okay.
And that's usually like, the female characters of One Piece with gigantic tits.
Oh, okay.
And then like in a tiny bikini.
Oh, okay. Yep. This one does say, I was like this. Does this one say BB? Because I didn't initially see it, but if I click on it and see the description, yep. Ver BB.
She is the ship's navigator.
Oh, okay.
And she is also... very good at during the time skip she studied weather science, and so she has a special tool that helps her generate weather conditions and or lightning.
Now, okay, so this must be a picture of her. I see what you mean, from like before, because she is an attractive lady but not big boobed.
Yeah. So she, like back when the series began, she looked like a normal person, but now she's just like giant tit monster.
Yeah, she's got. That probably is not going to.
We cannot have that as the fucking title.
No,
of the show.
I meant like maybe it goes in the
show notes.
In the show notes or something. Yeah, no, this is I don't. Yeah. Oh wait, there's a
stop getting boners looking at Nami figures.
Izumi Rika reveals her New Year Nami something or other.
Is that cosplay?
Okay. Yeah, it's cosplay. Yeah.
Okay, can you please stop looking at the internet so we can continue with the show?
I'm looking at the internet. I'm sorry. I have closed the internet. I turned it off.
Okay, cool.
I have that power. Nobody can use the internet right now.
So, but then afterwards we went and hung out with some of Becky's friends from home. Mm-hmm. We went out for her friend's birthday.
Yeah.
And we went to...
Did you go to the mall?
We went to the Old Salt.
The Old Salt? That sounds like a seafood.
It's in Hampton Falls or Hampton proper. I'm not sure. That restaurant, not good.
Well, I mean, it's called the Old Salt. It's just, for the Old Salt.
It was just like I got like because
is that plural? You can be an Old Salt, but if there are more,
I kept on calling it the Salty Box, like.
Okay,
because there's a place. I think I know why I keep on calling it that. There is a place in Billerica on Route 4. That
called Max 2?
No, called
the Salty
called the Salt Box.
Okay.
And
that was the original.
I think
name
it's near
of,
where
Max
the 99 is in Billerica.
Oh, okay. Oh,
one of the 99s. The 99 that's on Route 4.
The nines.
Yeah.
As they call it.
I used to me and a friend from college used to go to that particular one, which ironically, well, not ironic. There's no irony in that. Which is in listening to Bill Burr's podcast, he keeps on referencing that particular 99 as a place where when he first started doing stand-up, he did like a small set there during a fucking Bruins game, and it was terrible. Speaking of the Bruins, two games up.
Are they? Okay. I have
2 games to 1. They scored 7 goals last night.
Oh.
That is a lot.
They won the first one, lost, and then won?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and so we went to the Old Salt, and I being keto, like usually my menu options are limited anywhere I go, and then like there's 3 or 4 staples that I can get. Like if I can get like a burger or like a chicken sandwich without the bun,
right?
Or like if they have something like they have like a grilled chicken fillet or something like that, or chicken breast or whatever, I can get that, and I can just get it with some veggies or something, like, which is cool. I don't have to say, give me a burger without the bun.
Right.
And salads.
Not that they should be giving you shit about that anyway, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, they usually don't, but
You
it
feel
makes it
it.
easier that I don't have to say, don't give me the bun. And then when they forget to, then they still give me the bun. I have to scrape, like
Scrape that dirty gluten off. Not gluten.
like last Tuesday I got a bunless burger, and they gave me the bun, and like some sauce that was on the burger ended up just being absorbed into the bun, so all that like spicy goodness that I would have had on the burger wasn't there because it was just in the bun.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to lick it off the bun.
Fucking bread.
Yep. Very, very porous. So yeah, Caesar salads, whatever. That's usually a pretty safe bet as far as in the salad variety, just because they don't typically put carrots on it, and carrots are a root vegetable, so therefore have more carbs, so we avoid them.
Got it.
And then, a steak or any sort of other meat and some veggies. I went with Caesar because it's easy. I just have to usually say don't put croutons on it.
Right.
That's like the one thing. And I got the grilled chicken on it. Becky got a similar thing. She got steak tips. And from what she was saying, hers was a lot better. My chicken was fucking disgusting.
Oh no. But
I'm like,
the cut of it, like they
didn't seem to have removed the tendons from it, and it was just
that's
like
I like chicken, but I have increasingly stopped ordering chicken out. Whether anything from fast food to like a nice place, because I've just had in the last like 9 months to a year just really terrible luck with the chicken being like I don't know like they're not cutting parts of it out that they usually do, or it's just
yeah. I mean, I've become more fond, and this is weird because I never liked eating meat off the bone. I've become more fond of chicken wings now.
Oh God!
Because like I know
hate bone in anything.
I like. I mean, I don't like the drumsticks so much, but I like the actual wings. I'm like I can eat this now. Like just because it's like I know. The meat, where the meat is good on there, and like, they don't have to cut anything off, and this, like, I've, now that I'm like maybe totally into eating more fat, then like, I don't mind eating the skin because that it's got lots of good fat in it.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
so my brain's like, you should eat that.
Even going to, like when people would order ribs, I just avoid as much as I can.
Could I just get one rib?
Yeah, no, I don't. That's what Eve said, right?
No, isn't that how she got made? That was like on that podcast. How did this get made? Eve. Adam's rib.
Adam's rib. But Lilith got made. She didn't need a rib, something like that. I don't know. I was looking that up.
Lilith.
That's Adam's original lady friend.
Oh, is that where the lore of like sort of vampire-y things comes from?
Maybe. I don't know. Let's look up Lilith. I think people would love to hear a little bit about Lilith. I think that is why why I can type. Fraser Crane has a ex named Lilith, right? Is that correct?
I don't think so. I think it's something else.
Lilith, the demon. Lilith in popular culture. Let's see. Lilith, a female demon from Jewish mythology, has been developed over time into distinct characters in popular culture. Okay. Jewish mythology. I wonder if
Jewish
people
Old
were very
Testament.
upset about that. I mean, when we eventually evolve to be able to call Christianity Christian mythology, that will be a good day.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
Lilith, she was often envisioned as a dangerous demon of the night who is sexually wanton and steals babies in the darkness.
I remember defeating some Lilith creatures in Castlevania. So,
yeah,
because usually Castlevania is basically an amalgam of all like creepy lore.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I liked the Castlevania. Can you play the Castlevania on the? Well, we weren't on the modern systems. Or is it exclusively like?
Well, I think the I don't know if the Castlevania collection is that just came out is exclusively for the Switch.
Okay.
But
they're kind of keeping tight with Nintendo.
No, I mean, like I think there are ways to play. I'm not sure if Symphony of the Night or other particular games on the most modern consoles, but I think on the NES Classic, I think Castlevania 1 and 2 are both on there.
Okay.
And Castlevania 4 is on the Super NES Classic.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I always lose track of which of those I played and which of those I didn't. And because, I sucked at them and I never won. And so I kind of tried to vanquish them from my memory. But.
Well, Castlevania 2, out of the list of... Or actually, no. I think I've only beat the ones that were numbered, the even ones.
Oh, okay.
I only beat Castlevania 2 and 4.
Which is the one... Which is, what's his... Simon's Quest.
Yeah, that was 2.
That's 2, okay.
Which was more of like a action RPG.
Okay, yeah, that's you got to collect shit, right? And you turn you got a curse. Is that the horrible night for a curse?
Well, when it turns into night, it just says that.
Okay, yeah. So that's the one that I remember playing.
So the story of Castlevania 2 is like you defeat Dracula in the first one, but then he curses you, so you basically have to collect his parts, put him back together, and kill him again so you can not be cursed anymore.
Exquisite corpse. That's kind of what's going on.
You could just call the new book Dracula's Parts.
Dracula's Parts. You think Dracula gets a bad rap?
Yeah. I mean, he's such a sweetie.
Well,
if you watch the Castlevania series on Netflix, which is basically a retelling with some artistic liberties of Castlevania 3, which is a prequel to the first Castlevania.
Yeah, I mean, my memory of Dracula is the Gary Oldman Dracula that directed by I don't know, I can't remember who.
It was the Bram Stoker's one, right?
Yeah, Bram Stoker's had Keanu Reeves and
then like afterwards they were like, wow, this went over gangbusters. Let's do Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Yeah,
and nobody fucking liked that one.
Yeah. Well,
boy.
I have I said this? I can't remember. You have talked about my sexual escapades on the show.
All two of them.
All two of them. With two ladies, not all two of them.
I got it.
But the very first time I had sex...
Like a virgin.
Like an virgin. No, so...
Sorry, did you just make a portmanteau of you and virgin?
Yes. Can I make that the title? No, like an virgin. That's not going to be the title.
That is, please no.
But my lady friend was looking for something even vaguely erotic amongst my VHS collection. And what she found was Dracula.
Yeah, I mean, Dracula. Out of modern movies, I'd say there's some sexy stuff going on.
1997, right? I don't think Titanic was out on video yet. She couldn't ask me to draw her like one of my French girls. No, so
one of your French girls.
You've never seen Titanic?
No.
Okay, that's a line in the only nudity scene with nudity in it, and which leads into the only real sex scene in the movie, begins with the line "Draw me like one of your French girls." And
so when does Leo have problems getting it up and then the boat sinks?
Yes.
For like an hour, I think isn't that the last hour of the movie? Is the boat? Yes, is the boat. And he's like, "Damn it! I wish I could have maintained my erection."
No, I think they get to. It's implied that they get to completion.
Oh, cool!
Both of them inside a Model
inside an iceberg.
I don't know. So, but the what I wanted to say about Dracula and getting a bad rap is that my memory of that.
I think most raps done by white people in the late to mid 90s, like Beastie Boys and maybe Slim Shady excluded, were bad raps.
So Snow's Informer, you would say,
maybe
I Licky Boom Boom Down.
He doesn't actually say that.
That's not what he says?
I don't think so.
I think he says a licky boom boom down.
Is that slang for butthole licks?
I don't know. Let's find out.
No. Let's not find out and let's just leave it, Chris. We don't need to find out everything.
Snow Informer. No, so I remember the beginning of Dracula with Gary Oldman, and feeling for Gary Oldman because he's gone off and he's I think he's done the Crusades. Is that what he's done? I don't know. He comes back and his wife gets killed or she dies or some damn thing, and then he's upset. He's upset, and so he curses God because God, I just went out and fought for you, God, so I'm gonna fuck you.
Fuck you.
And so that's how he becomes a vampire. And I was like, well, and then
but like
he lives for a really long time and gets creepy and bad. But initially, I felt for the guy.
Dracula in the Castlevania series has a similar but different kind of story. But it's a little bit more. It goes into like the relationship he has with his love interest.
Oh, okay.
More like so.
Winona Ryder.
No, I mean it's a cartoon.
Okay. She could do voice work.
I don't think she did though.
Okay. Informer, say daddy, me snow, me I go blame.
Please don't say the whole fucking song.
A licky boom boom down.
He does say a licky.
He does say a licky boom boom down,
which means
I don't know.
Oh, okay. What that was? What
I
you were
can look
looking
it up.
up.
A licky boom boom down. And let's see.
Or is it just him trying to create a rhyme?
What is a licky boom boom down? A phrase in white pseudo-reggae rapper Snow's #1 hit song Informer. It has no meaning whatsoever, but is known for being the only coherent line in the song. That's true. That's the reason I remember it.
So we'll just go with it being butthole licks.
I would believe that more than I would believe just about any other interpretation.
Okay.
More power to him if he likes if he likes doing that, and if the person he's doing to likes having it done to them.
I heard he was in jail when the song hit.
Snow?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
spreading rumors from 25 fucking years ago.
Let's find out if Steve's not. So anyway, if you have suggestions, I think that would be great for letting me, what I should call my book.
I have been doing that the entire show, Chris.
Have you?
Yes. Listen again while you're going to get the notes and whatever.
I'm going to get the notes and you're going to find out that
the title.
It's going to be called Bumbles on the Hydrangea. Well, we didn't even say that. I wrote that down as a thing for us to talk about.
We got the bumblebees
on the hydrangea.
Bumblebees on the bumble trees.
Oh, and now I remember how that all came about. Because I said, before we started the show, I said, do we have any bees in our bonnet? And you said...
Not to put a fine point on it.
But then you also said that you had bumbles in the...
Put a little birdhouse in your soul.
Do you have bumbles in the hydrangea?
Yes.
Okay. You had to look up the hydrangea.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was what it was called.
Okay, yeah.
The giant like hydrangea bush tree, whatever the fuck it is,
and
outside of my house.
I said that it's a missed opportunity if one of the Bush children has not named their child hydrangea. Just saying. I think there should be a lovely granddaughter named Hydrangea Bush.
You revised your statement knowing because the Bush only had daughters and they have changed their names, so they would not be known as Bush.
Right. Well, but it's Jenna Bush Hager. I don't know.
So they're hyphenated.
I think so. So I think it would be Hydrangea Bush Hager.
That sounds like a mouthful.
That sounds like a law firm. Anybody with a hyphenated last name that makes their kid sound like a law firm. Cooper Banks McKenzie. That's a joke from Father of the Bride Part 2. Oh boy, you're right.
Scraping the bottom of that barrel. I mean, I think he's come back around recently. But Steve Martin, Jesus Christ.
He had a period there where he was... Well, see, the thing is I wonder, at that same time, he was doing... Or around the same time, he was doing some pretty interesting theater. Right, and in order to
none of us were in any way that wasn't blipping on any average American's radar.
Well, in college I interned at the Merrimack.
Chris, you're above average.
I interned at the Merrimack Repertory Theater, and the rep, and they were doing or had done a Steve Martin play either just before I got there or just after or something. So he was doing that stuff, and I wonder if he was kind of taking sort of surefire box office hits.
So he could do the creative stuff that he wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was also doing some prose writing and other stuff. So, yeah, he had a period there. But
Bill Murray did the same thing. There was after I think Groundhog Day, like he made some interesting choices.
Yeah, and then
I think around the time where Wes Anderson was like, "Please, Bill Murray,
lost
stop it."
Yeah, where he whispered something into the.
No, that was prior to Wes Anderson was prior to Lost in Translation.
Oh, okay.
So then he started doing like moody kind of comedy-esque material.
I don't even know I don't know enough about Wes Anderson to even know that that's not one of his movies.
Yeah, it's not. Rushmore was the first one that I noticed, but Bottle Rocket was before that.
Yeah, and he do the Royal Tenenbaums and the one about the Jacques Cousteau.
Yes.
Okay.
Life Aquatic.
Got it. Never watched it. I tried watching Tenenbaums.
How about Fantastic Mr. Fox?
It's an animated one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think that is the right combination of Wes Anderson movie and kids movie, which is weird because usually there's lots of foul language in Wes Anderson films, and what they did was instead of every time someone would say a swear, they would say cuss instead of that swear, which I thought was clever and fun.
Melody has been asking me if she's allowed to swear. It's been interesting. My 9-year-old. Or she'll say that she knows a word, and you can tell that what she wants to do is she wants to explore whether or not she understands what the word is, but she's afraid of saying it out loud. And I'll say, at this point, you know what, we don't need to.
I think 9 or 10 was around the time where I started swearing, not at my parents or anything, but I remember. It's weird what you remember.
It is weird what you remember. What do you remember?
I remember being at my grandparents' campground. I think I was either 9 or 10, and sitting on a swing set in the little kids' play area at the campground, and just practicing swearing.
Just little Steve practicing, just being like shit.
I don't even think I went that far at that point. I think I was just saying hell and damn.
Oh, okay.
I was just dipping my toe in the water.
Yeah.
There was no one else around. I was sitting by myself.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of my childhood.
And what was the intonation of your hells and your damns? Were you angry?
No, it was just I was just expressing them out loud.
Okay. So
but not very loud.
Like hell.
Yeah, I was
sounded like that.
Damn. Somebody. Yeah,
My name's Steve.
I was Mickey Mouse apparently when I was 10.
My name's Mickey Mouse. I hope you heard of me. I hope.
Don't even look at me when you do that.
You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/238. And if you would like to email us, offer any comments on what we've talked about.
Or give Chris some suggestions on what he should call his book now that he has to change the title of it.
Yeah, you can send those to hot@clarkwoods.com. Anything else?
I think we got a slow start, but I think we rolled into a good show.
We rolled on.
Which is never good. We should never start out bad.
No. We rolled right up to the giant tit monster and defeated her.
No.